We only existed at night. It was never something we talked about. Not once. Not in daylight, not through messages, not even after it started feeling like a pattern. We just slipped into it. Like stepping into water you didn't realize was deep. Every time the sun went down, there was a quiet pull between us. No texts, no plans. Just the feeling that when night came, we'd find each other again. Sometimes it happened at a friend's apartment, a hallway, a rooftop, one of those empty back rooms with string lights and music too soft to matter. Other times it was a cigarette outside a party neither of us really wanted to be at. No introductions, no explanations. We just stood near each other, letting the air do the talking. She never said, "I'll see you tonight," and I never asked. But somehow we always knew. The way people who dream the same dream might silently agree not to wake each other up. We were like that, fleeting but familiar, present but never permanent. She was never mine, and I was never really hers. But it didn't feel empty. It felt suspended, like the world paused between dusk and dawn just for us. In those hours, there were no questions, just her eyes catching mine across a room. Just the way she leaned against the wall with her arms crossed, like she was protecting something soft. And the way she looked at me like I might already understand what it was. In the daylight, she was different, lighter somehow, not colder, just distant. Like sunlight scattered her into pieces too small to hold. She'd smile if we crossed paths, say hey. Sometimes nothing at all, and I let her. I didn't want to break it. I didn't want to ask, what are we? Because what we had only existed in the absence of that question. Most people think love needs a name, or time, or promises. But I think some kinds of love live better without them. Ours lived in moments. The smell of rain on concrete, the hum of late buses, the glow of a streetlight that never flickered. Small, silent things that no one else noticed. Sometimes I wonder if she felt the same. If she waited like I did for night to fall. If she remembered which stair creaked in my building. If she replayed things in her head the way I did. The brush of her jacket against mine, the quiet breath between a joke and a laugh, the pause before goodbye that never really came. We never took photos, we never said we should. Maybe because we knew this wasn't the kind of thing that lasts. But I think we both hoped it would return, again and again, just like it always had. There's a kind of intimacy that only exists when the world is quiet, when everything else has fallen away. That's what we had. That's all we had. And I thought maybe that was enough. There came a time when the nights stopped lining up. Not all at once, not in any dramatic way. Just a missed glance here, a quiet hallway that stayed empty. A party where I waited by the door longer than I'd like to admit. I told myself it was just timing, that she'd show up the next night, that we'd slip back into it like always. But the silence started to grow. Not between us, we never spoke that much anyway, but around us. Like the world was pulling back the space we used to fill. And I didn't know how to chase something that was never mine to begin with. So I waited. I kept walking the same streets at the same hours, hoping to cross her path again, hoping the night would forgive us and let us start over. I thought about texting her. I even drafted something once. Simple, like, hey. But the blinking cursor felt too loud, too permanent, too close to daylight. We didn't live in messages. We lived in shadows and echoes. I deleted it before I could change the rules. Friends started asking where I was going so late, why I stayed out after everyone else had gone home. I shrugged, said I liked the air at night, said it helped me think. The truth was, I was trying to find something that had no name, no address, no reason to return. One night, I passed the alley behind the bookstore. The one where we once stood for nearly an hour, leaning on opposite walls, not saying a word. It had been raining that night. Her hair was dripping, her coat half soaked. She didn't care. Neither did I. There was something perfect in the stillness of it, the quiet defiance of not going home. I stood there again, in that same spot. The alley was empty, but the memory was loud. I closed my eyes and tried to bring her back. Not as a person, but as a feeling. That soft gravity between us, that silent thread pulling us into each other's orbit without asking permission. But it didn't come, not this time. I started to wonder if I had imagined it all. Not her, she was real. But the weight of what we shared, the rhythm of our silence, the way my heart used to slow down when she was near. Maybe I gave it more meaning than it ever had. Maybe I was the only one who thought it mattered. Or maybe she felt it too, and just couldn't carry it anymore. Maybe the night was never enough for her, even if it was everything for me. We were a story without a beginning, a song without lyrics, a place you remember by how it made you feel, not what happened there. And now that it was fading, I didn't know what to hold on to. The moments were slipping, the meaning was shifting, and all I could do was stand in the dark, waiting for a shadow that no longer knew my name. The last time I saw her, it was almost morning. The sky had started to shift, that pale grey mule that means everything is about to wake up. She was leaning against a street lamp at the edge of the park, hood up, hands in her pockets. I don't even know how I noticed her. I was walking without purpose, just trying to make the night last a little longer. We didn't say anything at first. She looked at me like she always had, soft and unreadable, like I was a language she used to know but didn't quite remember anymore. I stood next to her, close enough to feel her presence but not enough to touch. The light buzzed above us. The city breathed quietly behind. After a while, she said, "You're still out here?" And I nodded, because I didn't trust my voice. She didn't smile. She just looked away. And I knew, even then, that this was the end. Not because she said it, but because she didn't need to. We stood there for a few more minutes, saying nothing, and then she turned and started to walk. I thought about following, about saying something that would matter, but there was no story to save, no promise to keep, only the fading warmth of what we used to be. I haven't seen her since, not on the street, not at parties, not in passing. Sometimes I wonder if she moved away. Sometimes I wonder if she disappeared. Mostly, I wonder if she ever thinks of me. The nights feel different now. Still quiet, still heavy, but they don't pull the same way. I don't go out as much. I sleep more. I let the mornings come without fighting them. It's not sadness, exactly, just the echo of something that once felt full. I still think of her when the sky goes dark in a certain shade, when the air gets heavy right before rain, when a song plays that we never dance to but somehow belongs to us anyway. I don't cling to it. I don't try to bring it back. I just let it pass through me. Like weather. She was never mine, and I was never really hers. But for a little while, we existed. And we existed exactly where we belonged. In the hours the world forgot. At night.